You've done everything right. You've worked hard, set goals, pushed through challenges, and built a life that from the outside looks successful. But for some reason, it still doesn't feel like enough. You've achieved what you thought would bring you happiness, yet you feel lost, restless, or unfulfilled. Why does this happen? And more importantly, how do you fix it? Many successful and ambitious people face this struggle. They keep moving, keep achieving, and yet, deep inside, something feels missing. This video will help you understand why this happens and, more importantly, what you can do about it. We will break it down into 5 key topics, each shedding light on a common issue that high achievers face. You'll gain insight into why you feel this way and practical solutions to bring back fulfillment, motivation, and inner peace. These aren't vague self-help ideas. These are actionable shifts in mindset that will help you feel whole while continuing to grow and succeed. The 5 topics we'll cover are 1. The addiction to busyness and the fear of stillness. Why some people can't sit still, constantly keep busy, and struggle to relax. Learn to embrace it can actually lead to deeper fulfillment. 2. The now what? Syndrome after success. Why achieving big goals often leaves people feeling lost or empty rather than satisfied. How to redefine success and find a sense of purpose. 3. The obsession with chaos. Why some people create problems when things are stable. When things are good, they subconsciously create the next problem. We'll uncover why this happens and how to break the cycle. 4. The identity crisis of achievement. When your identity is built around success, what happens when you slow down or take a break? We'll discuss why tying your worth to constant achievement is dangerous and how to develop a stronger sense of self. 5. Finding sustainable fulfillment. How to balance growth with inner peace. Learn how to integrate success with fulfillment. We'll talk about practical ways to feel content while still striving for growth, so you can build a life that's deeply satisfying. Now let's get started. Topic 1. The addiction to busyness and the fear of stillness. Some people just can't stop. Even when they don't have to work, they fill every moment with something, whether it's a side project, a new goal, or even mindless scrolling just to keep their brain occupied. The idea of sitting still, doing nothing, or simply existing in the moment makes them feel uneasy, even guilty. If this sounds familiar, you might be experiencing an addiction to busyness. This isn't just about productivity, it's deeper than that. Many people who struggle with stillness have linked their sense of worth to their output. They've spent so long being rewarded for working hard that they don't know who they are without something to do. But here's the truth. Constantly keeping busy doesn't mean you're fulfilled. It just means you're distracted. This fear of stillness often comes from a deeper discomfort with your own thoughts. When you slow down, things bubble up. Old doubts, unresolved emotions, and questions about what truly matters. That's why many people avoid it. But avoiding something doesn't make it go away. It just makes the discomfort grow in the background, waiting for the moments when you least expect it. The solution is not to force yourself to do nothing, but to redefine rest. Rest doesn't have to be sitting still in silence, and unless you want it to be. Rest can be creative play, slow and mindful movement, or deep conversations. The goal is to learn how to be with yourself without needing to prove anything. A simple way to start is by scheduling short periods of unstructured time in your day. Even just 10 minutes of allowing yourself to do whatever feels right in the moment without judgment can make a difference. Over time, this helps you break the cycle of needing constant activity to feel valuable. Stillness is not the enemy. It's the place where you reconnect with yourself, and when you make peace with it, you no longer need to run just to avoid what's inside. The now what syndrome. After success, you finally get the promotion, buy the house, finish the project, or reach the milestone you've been working towards. You should feel incredible. But instead, an unexpected emptiness creeps in. You think, is this it? Now what? This is one of the most common struggles for high achievers. The reason is simple. If your happiness is always tied to the next goal, you never truly arrive. You just keep pushing the finish line further, and every time you get there, the satisfaction fades faster than you expected. This happens because most people focus on external achievements without defining what internal fulfillment looks like. Achievements give you a temporary high, but they don't create lasting peace. If you've ever felt this way, you're not broken. You've just been measuring success in a way that doesn't lead to lasting happiness. The first step to breaking this cycle is learning to celebrate your wins fully. Many people barely acknowledge their accomplishments before moving on to the next challenge. Take time to actually feel the success. Reflect on what it took to get there, the lessons you learned, and what it means for you beyond just a checkbox on a list. The second step is to diversify your definition of success. Instead of only measuring achievements, start measuring experiences, connections, and personal growth. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? Rather than just, what do I want to accomplish? Finally, the most powerful shift is learning to enjoy the process, not just the outcome. Find ways to love what you do for the sake of doing it, not just for the rewards. When you build a life where the journey itself is meaningful, you stop relying on the destination to make you happy. Feeling lost after success doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means you're ready for a deeper way of defining fulfillment. And once you shift your perspective, you'll find that success can be satisfying and sustainable at the same time. The obsession with chaos. Why some people create problems. When things are stable, for some people, life feels exciting when there's a challenge, a crisis, or a big problem to solve. They thrive in uncertainty, hustle through difficulties, and feel most alive when they are under pressure. But what happens when things finally stabilize? When they achieve success? When life is calm? When there is no urgent issue demanding their energy? They create one. Some individuals are unknowingly addicted to chaos, not in an obvious way, but in subtle patterns of behavior that constantly introduce instability into their lives. When everything is going smoothly, they start feeling uneasy. They pick fights in their relationships, start new unnecessary projects, overcommit to work, or suddenly convince themselves that something in their life needs to change. It's as if stability feels too foreign, too unfamiliar, and they need to shake things up just to feel normal again. This behavior is often rooted in past experiences. If someone grew up in an environment of uncertainty, high pressure, or dysfunction, their nervous system may have adapted to operate best in a state of stress. Over time, chaos becomes a comfort zone. Even when things are good, the brain looks for ways to recreate the familiar sense of struggle, because struggle is what feels natural. But constantly living in this pattern is exhausting. It means never allowing yourself to rest, never truly feeling at peace, and always chasing the next problem to solve. The key to breaking free from this cycle is learning to trust stability. Start by recognizing your own patterns. Do you tend to get restless when things are calm? Do you start overanalyzing, worrying, or making changes when you finally achieve stability? Awareness is the first step. Once you notice the behavior, you can question it. Ask yourself, is this problem real, or am I creating it? Am I uncomfortable with peace because it feels unfamiliar? The more you reflect on these questions, the easier it becomes to break the habit. Instead of searching for new problems, try embracing stillness. Redirect your energy toward things that deepen fulfillment rather than create unnecessary stress. That could be developing a new skill, focusing on deeper relationships, or even practicing mindfulness to become comfortable with calmness. Life doesn't always need to be a struggle. Success and stability are not things to fear. Learning to accept and enjoy periods of peace is a powerful skill, and once you master it, you no longer need chaos to feel alive. The identity crisis of achievement. When success becomes your identity, what happens when you slow down? What happens when you're not working on the next big thing? For many high achievers, this can be terrifying. If you've spent years building your life around success, productivity, and accomplishment, the idea of taking a break can feel like losing yourself. Who are you if not the person who's always striving for more? This happens because society rewards achievement. From an early age, many people are praised for working hard, being productive, and excelling beyond expectations. Over time, it becomes a part of who they are. Their worth feels tied to what they can accomplish, rather than who they are at their core. But the problem with this mindset is that it makes rest feel like failure. Slowing down feels like losing progress. Not constantly working feels like a waste of potential. This is why so many ambitious people struggle with burnout, because they don't know how to step away without feeling guilty. The truth is, your worth is not measured by your productivity. You are valuable because of who you are, not just because of what you do. Understanding this requires shifting the way you see yourself. Instead of identifying only with success, start building an identity that is deeper, more well-rounded, and not solely dependent on external achievements. One way to do this is by exploring interests that have nothing to do with work. Try engaging in activities that bring you joy purely for the sake of enjoyment. It could be creative hobbies, nature, travel, or simply spending time with loved ones. These moments remind you that your life is not just about achievements. It's about experiences, connections, and personal growth beyond external success. Another important practice is learning to sit with stillness. If your sense of self feels shaky when you're not being productive, it's a sign that you need to strengthen your inner foundation. Meditation, journaling, and self-reflection can help you reconnect with who you are beyond your work. You are more than your achievements. You are more than your work. And when you build an identity that is strong and fulfilling outside of success, you gain the freedom to truly enjoy your accomplishments without fear of losing yourself in them. Finding sustainable fulfillment. How to balance growth with inner peace. The final piece of the puzzle is learning how to balance ambition with fulfillment. Many high achievers operate under the belief that they can only have one or the other. Either they push forward and succeed, or they slow down and find peace. But the truth is, you can have both. In fact, the most successful and fulfilled people have mastered the art of integrating these two forces instead of seeing them as opposites. One of the biggest mistakes people make is constantly delaying fulfillment. They tell themselves, once I reach my next goal, then I'll be happy. Once I make this much money, then I'll enjoy my life. Once I get recognized for my work, then I'll feel satisfied. But as we've already explored, this never-ending chase leads to burnout and emptiness. Real fulfillment doesn't come from waiting until you reach the finish line. It comes from the way you live right now. So how do you achieve that balance? It starts with shifting your mindset around success and happiness. Instead of seeing fulfillment as a reward that comes after hard work, start seeing it as something you cultivate along the way. This means learning to enjoy the process, not just the result. A powerful way to do this is by setting intrinsic goals alongside your external achievements. External goals are measurable, things like income, status, or accomplishments. Intrinsic goals, on the other hand, are about personal growth, connection, and well-being. Instead of only asking, "What do I want to accomplish?" start asking, "Who do I want to become? How do I want to feel each day? What kind of life do I want to experience?" When you shift your focus from just achievements to how you want to feel, you'll start experiencing fulfillment before you reach the milestone. Another key element is learning to be present. Many ambitious people struggle with this because they are always thinking ahead, planning their next move, or analyzing past decisions. But fulfillment exists in the present moment. The more you train yourself to appreciate the now, to notice the small joys, to savor the progress you've made, to feel gratitude for what's already here, the more balanced and satisfied you'll feel. That doesn't mean you stop striving for more. It just means you no longer need to sacrifice happiness in the process. You can still work hard, set big goals, and push yourself, but you do it from a place of excitement, not desperation. From a place of wholeness, not lack. A great way to practice this is by implementing micro-celebrations into your routine. Instead of waiting until the big achievement to feel good, celebrate the small moments. Finished a tough project? Acknowledge it. Had a productive day? Appreciate it. Learn something new? Recognize it. The more you celebrate along the way, the more you reinforce that success is not just about the big wins, it's about the journey. And finally, define success on your own terms. Society often imposes definitions of success that may not align with what truly matters to you. Take the time to reflect on what success actually looks like for you. Maybe it's about financial security, but also about having time for your loved ones. Maybe it's about being the best in your field, but also about feeling mentally and emotionally at peace. When you define success in a way that aligns with your values, you stop chasing things that don't truly fulfill you, and you start building a life that feels authentically yours. Fulfillment isn't the end of ambition. It's the fuel that keeps you going, sustainably, joyfully, and in a way that feels deeply satisfying. Conclusion. Living a life of meaning and growth. At the heart of this entire journey is one simple truth. Success and fulfillment are not opposites. They are partners. You do not have to choose between ambition and peace. You do not have to sacrifice your well-being in order to grow. The most meaningful life is one where these two forces work together, guiding you toward a life that is both extraordinary and deeply satisfying. You have now explored why busyness can become an addiction, why success can leave you feeling lost, why some people create chaos when things are stable, and why tying your identity to achievement can be dangerous. But more importantly, you've learned how to navigate these challenges with clarity, self-awareness, and purpose. So where do you go from here? It starts with small, intentional choices. Begin noticing when you're caught in the cycle of chasing the next thing without appreciating what you already have. Start incorporating moments of presence and gratitude into your daily life. Redefine what success means to you in a way that includes both external achievements and internal fulfillment. Remember, the goal is not to stop striving for more. The goal is to strive from a place of contentment, not emptiness. To grow without feeling like you're constantly running away from something. To succeed in a way that feels good, not just impressive. You already have everything within you to create a life that is both ambitious and fulfilling. Now it's time to live it.